State your pen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here.
Oh yeah, see, we got the supplies.
Mayor don't have a pen.
Mayor don't have a pen, man.
I left it in the back.
Just talking about it. Here we go. I rest my case. Rest my
All right,
case.
here we go.
I'll take care of it.
Rest my.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, all. I'd like to call the regular meeting of Mayor and Council for the Borough of Glassboro for December 27, 2022 to order. Karen, could you please read the opening statement?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, I hereby announce that adequate notice of this meeting, as required by said act, has been provided by adopting a schedule of regular meetings for the year 2022, which schedule was posted on the Borough Hall Bulletin Board, as well as the Borough website, and forwarded to both the South Jersey Times and the Sentinel of Gloucester County, and filed with the Borough Clerk on January 7th, 2022.
Thank you. Can we rise and salute the flag, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Karen, roll call, please.
Mayor Wallace?
Here.
Mr. Kosovo?
Present.
Mr. D'Alessandro?
Here.
Mr. Fiola?
Here.
Mr. Halter?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Here.
Mrs. Spence?
Here.
Mr. Melandro?
Here.
Mr. Scafidi?
Here.
And Mr. Brunemer?
Here.
Thank you. We have no presentations or proclamations this evening, so I'll turn the meeting over to our Borough Solicitor.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We have two final public hearings for the year. First being ordinance number 22-32, an ordinance authorizing execution of deed of sanitary sewer easement between Quam Investments LLC and the Borough of Glassboro. Council moves for the public portion.
Move the public portion be open.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The floor is now open to anyone from the public who wishes to come forward and address this proposed ordinance.
Seeing none, I move the public portion be closed and the ordinance adopted as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Kosovo?
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro?
Four.
Mr. Fiola?
Four.
Mr. Halter?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
4.
Mrs. Spence?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And the final ordinance is 22-33, an ordinance authorizing removal of deed restrictions placed upon property known as Block 198, Lot 7, now known as Block 198.10, Lot 1, on the tax map of the Borough of Glassboro. Council moves to public portion.
Move the public portion be open.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The floor is now open to anyone from the public who wishes to come forward and address this proposed ordinance.
Seeing none, I move the public portion be closed, the ordinance adopted as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Kosovo?
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro?
Four.
Mr. Fiola?
Four.
Mr. Halter?
Four.
Ms. Miller?
4.
Mrs. Spence?
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meetings of December 13th, 2022, as well as the closed executive session of December 13th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We have no communications. We'll move to committee reports, and I will begin with our council president, Councilman Costello.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I'm in receipt of the monthly report in November for the police department, and I'd just like to wish everybody a happy, healthy, and safe new year. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Councilman D'Alessandro.
Yes, Mayor, just one thing, I have the monthly report for the highway department, just want to make that noted for the record, that's all I have.
Thank you very much, sir. Councilman Fiola.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm in receipt of the various financial reports from our CFO, Karen Passioni, for the month of November 2022. And I thank her for that and wish everyone a happy new year.
Thank you very much, sir. Councilman Halter.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Mayor. I have nothing to report tonight, but have a safe and happy holiday season.
Thank you. Same to you. Councilwoman Miller.
Good evening. I have nothing at this time. Just want to wish everyone a safe and happy holiday season.
Nice, thank you. And Councilwoman Spence.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing at this time except I'd like to thank all the folks that work here at the borough, especially our CFO, administrator, all the hard work they've done all year, and everyone have a happy new year.
Nice, thank you. Alrighty, we have no unfinished business, we have no new business. We have no engineers report this evening, so I will now again turn the meeting over to our borough solicitor.
Thank you, Mayor. The end of the year resolutions are as follows. 282, authorizing refund of street opening performance guarantee, Michael Greco. 283, authorizing contract for the supplying of bituminous concrete for pickup, the Borough of Glassboro. 284, authorizing execution of 2023 grant agreement number 021, assistance in the municipal centers, in the amount of $133,100 between the Borough of Glassboro and the County of Gloucester. And the final one is 285, authorizing transfers within the accounts of the 2022 utility fund budget of the Borough of Glassboro for the tax year 2020 borough year 2022. Council so moves for approval. Roll call, please.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Costabile?
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro?
4 with an extension of the 283.
Mr. Fiola?
4.
Mr. Halter?
4.
Ms. Miller?
4.
Mrs. Spence?
4 with abstention on 284.
Thank you very much. Abstentions noted. Motion still carries. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to open the meeting up to the public.
Move the public portion be open.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Floor is now open to anyone from the public who wishes to come forward and address mayor and council.
Nice evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I hope you all enjoying your holiday season.
As well.
Gordon Rowland, Glassboro Estates, 205 Kentucky Avenue, Glassboro, New Jersey. I have some questions here that was text to me. Someone wants to know, when's the Martin Luther King Center going to be finished? It looks really nice from the road. And if we needed to rent it, who would still be in charge of it? And also, the panels that they're putting out there on Martin Luther King Drive, how are those going to benefit Glassboro and or the Ellesmere community? Those are my 3 questions.
How can you get to the first two?
The Martin Luther King
Martin
Center.
Luther King Center. We have no scheduled opening date yet. We're nearing completion, if my understanding is correct. We have to put a new roof on there, and that roof is going to be dependent upon weather and things like that. But once that's done, we'll be announcing the opening date for the center. Who would be contacted to utilize the building is still being determined at this point, but we will have answers for that before or when the center is open.
Okay.
And for the solar field, Ed,
Sure.
you want to take over?
The solar field's capping an old landfill, I'm not sure if you remember that.
Yeah.
So there really wasn't much you can do with the land. So how we're benefiting from it, we are leasing that land. We may draw some power from it, but right now the solar that we have is generating enough power for what we use. So it was the least expensive way to get that land capped and cleaned out. There wasn't really much else you could do with it.
Okay.
All right?
And that's going to benefit Glassboro, and how you said that we could use it how?
Well, right now we're using solar for a lot of it. We may use some of that power to offset the borough.
How do you use it? I'm curious about that.
So
If we don't have time for that, we could talk about it after.
yeah. Well, instead of paying, the electric company, you're generating your own energy. So instead of our buildings, instead of us having to pay someone, we'll be generating our own energy. But that particular land there too, we're getting lease payments for that. And again, it was land that there's really nothing we could do with it because of it being the landfill.
And we will be getting letters, information about how all that's gonna work out in the future.
I believe so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yep.
Again, enjoy your holiday season.
Same
You
to
too.
you. Thank you.
Hi, happy holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
She stole one of my questions.
Why not?
Diane Johnson, 210 West High Street, Glassboro, New Jersey. I had 3 questions, now I have 2 because she took one.
Mhm.
But I do wanna ask about the Martin Luther King Center. I heard what you said to her, but when you do open, is it gonna be, reasonable to rent out in the neighborhood, in the community like it was before?
As far as my understanding and my thought process, it's gonna be no different than when it was.
No different?
As far as how
Is that gonna be
it is
skyrocket?
read, no, not that I see, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right, now this next question is, the train. Is the train still coming? I
Train's
see something
coming.
in the paper.
Train is coming.
The train is coming, you know when?
No.
No. Okay.
I know that they have just signed new papers and moved to the next step in the process.
Okay, the next question is, the Ellesmere housing.
Yes,
Are they gonna do the, in the community first before they do any outsiders, or?
yes,
No?
yes,
They're gonna be in the community first,
yes, Glassboro first.
no outsiders first?
No,
Okay.
no, if I understand your question correctly, those that apply to get into that facility, are categorized and looked at with Glassboro residents being first in that pool, and then once the Glassboro resident pool is satisfied, then they move to the county and then
Oh,
outside,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Last and movies, to Danielle and to Karen. I didn't get a chance to talk to you ladies like I wanted to, but I really enjoyed, working for the election. I enjoyed it, I loved it, even with my son. You know, it was hard, but I did it, and I mean, I loved it. I didn't care about being there all day. I mean, it was fun doing it. So I thank you for that, and I'm looking forward to it again when it come up again. Have a blessed holiday.
You too.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Ms. Johnson, I was happy to have you.
Thank you. Ditto.
Well, seeing no more, I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The public portion is now closed. I'll entertain a motion at this time to approve all duly authorized bills.
Move that all duly authorized bills.
I'll second that all duly authorized bills be paid.
All right, I have a motion and a second that all duly authorized bills be paid. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to abstain on PO number 22-04867. Thank you.
Mayor, I have a few abstentions. It's okay with Council President Osborne that I say them.
Yeah, I hope there's less than 3, but go ahead.
22-04461, 04820, and 048. I read it twice, but I think it's a different one.
You know, we have those noted,
Yeah.
abstentions
Are you
have been
finished
noted.
now?
I think I'm finished now. Thank you, sir.
That motion still carries. Any closing comments by our borough administrator? None? I would just like to thank everyone that has come out to ask questions and participate, to thank you. Happy holidays to everyone. Safe and happy new year. And with that, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. This meeting is now adjourned. Have a great evening. Next regular meeting will be January 10th, 2023. Happy New Year, everybody.
Hard to believe, John.
Hard to believe.